You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my suggestion, get that material together and let us know when you got it ready.
The present, I was sort of amazed that night,
I was too.
you know, so,
He was setting up for now, Dominic.
yeah, thanks, Joe.
Bill?
Thanks, Chair. I do understand that there's going to need to be some housekeeping done. And I agree with Mr. Triera that as long as you don't deviate too far from those boundaries that were drawn on the maps, probably one could live with the housekeeping, which has to be done. I also think that before we vote on anything, we should have a map showing us what we're voting on and how it relates to what we thought we were voting on. You know, the original map that came out. And we can pair the two of them side by side and see that there are no drastic changes where you're throwing somebody into another district, which is really what this whole conversation is about here, I think. But I don't know why we have to vote on this. I think we should get the public hearing going, start the process on putting the maps and little changes we're going to make, and then when you do want us to vote on it, have the map available.
We will have you, yeah, we gotta get the public hearings set up because you have so many timelines. I've been to Robin talking to her several times about this. It's the timelines you run into.
It is a local law,
Yes.
so you should have the text of the local law in print before you, when you schedule the public hearing. And it's not just a public hearing to talk about some options.
So then are you saying these are the only changes that need to be done?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
Sorry.
when you vote, if you vote, at the December 18th meeting on a public hearing establishing the boundaries of the 9 districts, you should have them in writing before you, as you do now, but this is one proposal, and I'm hearing that maybe it isn't, maybe some of you are inclined to go in that direction and some others may not be.
Well, it's
You
hard to
can't-
tell what these mean until you see them on a map. You know
Well, I
what I mean?
suggested a map as well, yeah.
And that's my whole point. If this is the only housekeeping that needs to be done,
Yeah.
I don't think a whole lot of us are gonna have a big problem with it, but you gotta see it. You gotta see it.
People are gonna wanna see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I said, let's gather up the information just as soon as we can get it. I'll ask the chairman to have a special meeting, and obviously it's gotta be done. Yeah, John looks at me, oh boy, oh boy.
And Chairman, would those be the only changes that have to be made?
Maybe.
Are we to understand once we do see the map and approve it, it's done?
That's my opinion.
No more changes, no more moving a boundary over here, no more moving a boundary over there.
That's my opinion. I agree with, go back to Tom's first comments there, I agree with Tom. That map should be just about as following that map as absolutely as close as possible.
I feel the same way.
If it requires 20 people, one way or the other, maybe to make it work right for the people, fine, but we're not, I don't want to get into any wholesale changes. I keep saying it over and over again. Did I have you first, Barbara, before
Yeah.
Tom? Yes, okay.
I just wanted to say I commend the commission for their job that they did, but I think their job is done. Now it's ours, and I think that both Doug and Ken, I mean, they were just given this information. I mean, Ken's here. Do you think that you or Doug would be able to present a map and present this to the board and explain it to us? Or do you think that the commission would be better suited?
I try to stay out of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that both you and Doug explain it so well, and they've already done such an excellent job.
We can follow, we can follow the verbiage that's in this document right here and draw a map that reflects this verbiage.
That would be great.
I'll leave it at that.
That would be great.
The thing is, can you do an overlay? Where it
Oh,
has-
yeah, well, yeah, we can keep the existing map that was presented to the public at the voting booths, and then
That
we
was
can
what I was
overlay
going to
with
suggest too.
these changes.
Yeah, an overlay with these changes. And what I'd like to see is,
That's an excellent idea.
I'd like to have Ken's department give their blessing on this, okay?
Yeah, that's why I
And
went
if
and
they give
talked,
the okay that, you know, that's the right thing to do,
I went and
then
talked to
I
Doug.
think it would be okay with
I
me.
talked to Doug immediately when I got this, to get this thing, I can't tell you that, I was in there same morning, I had to get this thing rolling and get it, going properly. So I think, but an overlay, I think it's an excellent idea. That way it gives you an exact idea what the voters saw on election day and what we're gonna see today. And hopefully those lines won't vary.
The map would have to be a lot bigger than this to have an overlay.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to move 28 people,
Yeah.
you're not gonna see it on an overlay.
Exactly.
Here.
Yeah, that'd be blown up pretty good. Ed, are you all set back?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Tom, I'll get to you.
That's fine, making the assumption that all the supervisors believe that the map that you're talking about is what they want to go with. I personally never liked it from the beginning, and I still don't. So,
That's certainly your
you know, what I'm saying is, and I know there's other supervisors that feel the same way, that this other map that I have in my head may look entirely differently, that's not just 28 people. Because I was under the assumption we had the ability to do that as long as we left it at 9 districts with relatively 5,500 or 5,200 people within 5%. Because again, the people didn't vote on that map. So it sounds like some of you are saying, let's go ahead and concoct all this with just a nice overlay of just a little bit, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Never have.
Well, I guess there comes a time when you vote for it after the public hearing, you vote on it. If it doesn't pass, I guess we go back to square one, do something in a hurry.
Well, I like the idea of having Vince or someone come in, show us the map, and then if I have a question and say, just for the heck of it, why couldn't you do that? My answer may be plain as day right there of why you can't do that, Tom.
Sandy couldn't do it.
You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then they can't do
They
it.
couldn't do it during the commission.
I'm back to, you all set, Tom? I'm back to Michael.
Just to get it straight, what we're actually going to be voting on is not a map.
They did.
It could correspond to that, but you're going to be voting on these legal descriptions, and that's what I want to know. When this legal description is put up, which will be filed,
Right.
I want somebody to tell me that that legal description
Which was that?
is exactly going on those lines which I saw on the map. That's all, very simple.
We'll have that for you just as quick as we can.
And I want someone of authority, like an attorney, to tell me they read this and they agree this is a legal document and it's written that way like it should. Like as I said, I might find a west when it should be an east or something. I assume they can correct that. So when I vote, I want to know that that's exactly what I'm voting on. Because that's the thing that I'm going to look at.
We'll try our best to get that for you just as quick.
And, you know, I went to Doug too, and he said he was working on it.
Yep. So, Michael's all set. I guess. One more time, we gotta get this in.
Yeah.
Ask Ken, Doug's got about 10 people.
Did you have something more, Jeff?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that in the local law that's written, that these changes are incorporated in each legal description that would put out the metes and bounds for each. The only thing that's really missing is what Tom suggests is the overlay on that. To simplify it, these would be the changes. The legislative map that Tom has over there, and again, more detail, accurately reflects in every district the legal description that needs to be for the local law. And then, just to let you know what those changes were, that's what these 4 changes are. So the legal description just has all that. And again, you can get to a local law and amend it for a different metes and bounds if you get enough votes now. You just need to have it set, and nobody's really taking charge to do that. And that's why we did it.
Okay, we're all set. Just one thing I would say, we probably wouldn't be this point. How many people in this room actually thought that charter was going to pass by that big a margin?
Nobody.
Nobody in this room thought that charter would ever pass at all. If that had been the case. Just one,
thought it was
sorry,
gonna pass.
Michael, and probably myself and maybe Jeff. So,
No, I did. After I got the phone calls in my house, I
After
said
you
that's
got a
going to
phone
pass.
call.
you gotta know
A lot of
your,
people, nobody was talking to me, and all
you
of a
gotta know your
sudden,
voters. And
yeah,
that's
they
why I
called
say
me and
this-
said, what do we
that's
do?
why
And I
say
knew
that.
that.
And that's why I say that map has to be followed as closely as possible.
Yeah.
And can thank WCSS for making it pass.
On the resolution what's the board's wishes for to set a public hearing for January 22nd? What's the committee's wishes?
No.
Not until after next week's special meeting.
We got two noes?
Yeah, I'd say no too, until I'd see, until the presentation
which is
was up
a
to
no.
everybody.
Okay, we'll get that.
So I think that's the majority.
Why do we
Is he
need to
calling a
get
special
that?
meeting or not? Is he?
All right, hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
Bob's got a question.
Why is the effort to make that public hearing in a given period of time? Why is it rough to do that?
I can let
You can
Robert,
extend it out,
yeah, you, but the more
but
you,
I'm saying this is the minimum time that we need to get this done.
right.
We can't do this at the organizational meeting, so it's gotta go to the
That's
regular.
if you want to have it done by January.
You see,
Well, it depends on,
you can't keep pushing it out too far, because what you're gonna run into is, because like I say, you have to, voters have to be notified, the Board of Elections has to get ready, and there may be people interested in running for these positions of county legislator, and they have to, they can't be waiting until May to find out what, you have to start getting into that, there's people making up their mind the 1st of January about what they wanna do, so you've gotta move this thing, the public, you gotta move it along as fast as you can.
Back to committees of the whole.
Yeah. So
Can we be prepared by next week to have the commission?
that's what I'm saying. Can we,
Wait a minute. Is he going to call a meeting? I mean, before you talk, let's find out if we're gonna have a meeting.
that's what I'm going through next. I'm going to ask John.
Board can call a meeting,
Yeah, good.
board members can.
Maybe he wants to.
Well, I'd like to refer to chairman though, because he's the man that, okay, you just gotta,
For what?
you just gotta know
we're
when,
having a special meeting to,
I don't know what you're gonna accomplish, but we'll have a meeting.
But he's going to come and present, or somebody.
well, we hope to have the line.
Hopefully, the press will be here because they didn't even take an interest in this.
Well, they're over at the courthouse because they're still going through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What's
the
more
problem.
important?
That's where,
That's the problem we had tonight. What were you gonna say,
do
John?
you seriously think that you're gonna have these lines drawn up so that they can present something?
They're already drawn.
But you're drawing up
I
so
think
many.
if you can see the
Yeah,
Yeah,
lines.
you gotta be able to see it.
Yeah, Quacky would change the whole thing.
Yeah, it would.
That's what we want to see the lines,
Your
here.
map and
It's your
description then.
I think it's very nice when you see that.
It is. Dominic and I attended a lot of the commission meetings, and Dominic said the same thing. I was very impressed of the job. You put it up on a big map up on there, and you got, it's very definitive. I think they can do the same thing right here for us.
Right.
Give you those definitive lines, and we can produce a map from that.
Show you where the population is. Show you where those 20 people are.
Yeah, show you exactly where all that stuff is. It's very enlightening. Let's put it that way. And like I say, probably if supervisors here thought this had any chance at all of passing, they probably would have attended more meetings. I'm not trying to be sarcastic here, but that's the bottom line. So, okay,
5:55.
Right down the street.
5:55
The roof's getting worried.
on Tuesday night.
And by the way, Larry, the only reason this passed is because people thought there was gonna be somebody in charge. That's the only reason this passed.
Well, we're not.
Nobody read that, there wasn't 50 people in Montgomery County that read that charter.
We're not.
Okay?
It's too late. That's water over the dam.
That's right, 50 people, I said less than 50 people read it.
8,000 people.
And the only thing that they learned through the whole thing was, we were gonna have an executive in charge, and that's what they voted for. They didn't vote for the map, they didn't vote for anything else, they didn't have any idea what the map was about,
Be that as it may,
you know?
8,000 people voted.
Oh, I agree, listen, I have no problem with that.
All my
I have
houses
no
run in
problem.
charge.
We have to accept
None of
things.
these.
I love it's gonna happen, you know?
Why are we
Because
calling this
I'm
special
2 years down the road, I hope I don't have to say I told you so.
Hold on one
Do it,
second.
Jared.
Yeah,
I've
the
got
charter,
Rob to make
charter
it.
was not the legislature.
She's the lady who's got the legislature. We're calling a special meeting. We'll have a vote tonight.
Right, a lot of people.
so we're gonna be setting a special meeting.
Yeah. To review the line.
So it needs to be tabled?
Very good.
I should just look at this.
So we have just a moment, we're trying to establish something here. The special meeting we're holding is that going to be to move this resolution also? As well as to have the the presentation.
Well, it can't be a committee of the whole if you intend to do that. It'll
That
have
would
to be a special.
That would be a special meeting of the whole board.
Special meeting.
Right.
Special, special meeting with this resolution.
Not with this resolution.
That's what we're, well,
We just voted no on this resolution.
that's what we're trying to establish here.
Well, you have to present another resolution that night.
Well, if it changes.
We didn't vote on this.
Yeah, we did. Tommy said no, Donna
It
said
wasn't
no,
due
I
then.
said
It
no.
wasn't-
Well, I actually said no
Wait.
It did move on.
until I see it from Ken's office.
It did move
Yeah,
on.
we said no not to move the resolution forward with what's in it now.
did?
You're not gonna vote to put this forward with what's in it now, you know if it's accurate.
Well, if it's accurate, then I would like to see it as a resolution, go forward. If it's accurate, and there's only minor changes to this thing, okay, and it basically covers that same map that we had, that John had in his town hall, okay, that Bob had in his town hall, when people went in to vote for it. If it covers those lines, and there's only minor changes to that, there's only 28 people moved throughout the whole thing, I don't have any problem.
Let me poll the members here. Do you want to move this on, this
Yes,
resolution
I already
on?
said yes.
You said no. Tom? To the special meeting, you want to move the resolution on to the special meeting? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, we'll put the resolution up as long as I, like I
Okay,
said,
that's
I want
fine.
to see Kenny's response to this stuff.
Michael?
Or Doug's.
Okay, Michael's, Butch is not here. Dominic?
Yeah, we're moving it to the special meeting after the presentation.
Right. Brian?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
You're moving the whole resolution.
We'll move the resolution to that special meeting, and then you do the presentation, and everything is a go.
And if it doesn't pass, then it doesn't pass.
Resolution
doesn't
for
pay-
a
that's right, it
public
doesn't
hearing
pass.
or for all the stuff that's in this.
We have to have something.
Everything that's in there.
We have to have something.
So we're just gonna.
You can't vote out of here without having something.
Hold your opinion.
Somebody's gonna change the boundaries?
I'm a go, so.
You're no.
Say
A
that.
go.
I said you gotta have something, you just can't say there's never gonna put anything on.
No, I'm saying, once you see the
That'll
presentation.
be something, so nobody sends a card out and you don't have any districts and they're gonna say, well, who's running for what?
So what's
We're talking
established?
about March approval, I don't think we're
Special board
gonna
meeting,
delay this.
5:55 next Tuesday. Presentation here on the lines. After that, the resolution be voted on to either hold the public hearing or not. That's where we're at.
I would only request that we could move that to the 18th. Next week,
The 18th is
I'm out of state. I'm out of state.
Full board night.
Yeah,
That's full,
you'll never
that's
get
full
it
board.
done.
Yeah.
No, board
you're
meeting's at
not
7.
kidding, you're right.
Can't vote on
The
that.
way you're arguing now, you'll be there
It's
forever.
gonna be there forever. You got time to digest it.
And we got the public hearing on the budget,
For no matter what description.
Yeah.
right?
Come on.
We
We're trying
almost-
to kid now.
Stop trying to gerrymander.
Let's go.
That's what you just said.
Next Tuesday,
Right.
Tuesday, that's what you said.
5:55.
5:55.
Motion to adjourn.
No, I can't do that.
Thank you. All in favor? We're adjourned.
I know. Thank you. Brian, let's cook this, baby. Show us how fast you can do this.
Shit, I'm on
You only
neither.
got 3, you're
The hell, I
can.
I'm on neither.
Oh my goodness, Brian, you have like a billion. Nice. Took right through them.
Having lunch?
You must be starving.
Starving, I went home and I made Italian rice.
You're from Gulf, you're not an idiot.
You mean soda? Oh,
My
Italian.
mother used to make rice and they used to have.
You're not on.
You're next.
All right, we'll call Public Safety Committee to order.
Almost with rice, yeah.
Bang the gavel.
And mushrooms.
Garlic.
Bang the gavel.
Mozzarella.
There we go.
Call the Public Safety Committee to order. First thing on the agenda is privilege of the chair. Any members discuss items, anything from the committee? If not, we'll move on to resolutions. First resolution is a resolution authorizing chairman to sign 2013 agreement, Values Improvement Program, Youth ATI, and Veteran Services. I sponsor, need a second. Bill, discussion? Am I missing one?
On the agenda, there's a resolution.
Oh,
Provision 7.
that's been removed. That was acted on already.
Sorry. No, you got that.
Any discussion? Wish of the board.
Move it.
Ruby says move it. Next resolution, resolution authorizing chairman to sign 2013 agreement Alive at 25 Younger Driver Education Youth, or Program Youth ATI and Veteran Services. I sponsor. Need a second. Larry, discussion? Wishes of the committee? So moved. Next resolution, resolution appointing members Montgomery County Traffic Safety Board, Youth ATI and Veteran Services. I sponsor. Need a second. Bill, discussion?
Move it.
That's right. Next resolution, resolution authorizing chairman to sign agreement, pretrial release coordinator Leslie Nichols, Youth ATI and Veteran Services. I sponsor. Need a second. Greg, discussion?
Move it.
No.
Move it. Next resolution, resolution appointing members Montgomery County Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, Youth ATI and Veteran Services. I sponsor. Need a second. Larry? Discussion? Move it. Next resolution, resolution awarding bid 07-12 maintenance and repair of digital microwave system emergency management. I believe we have some information for that.
This was the $1.2 million microwave system we put in 2 years ago. This is for the maintenance and repair of it. It's yearly maintenance that's going to be done through RS Telecom. They're the people that put in the system. And it's for $34,000 a year for a 2-year contract. And then we have the option for a 3-year contract after those 2 years are up.
So it's RS Telecom,
RS Telecom.
and it's $34,000.
For the first year and
34 for the second.
34 for the second.
So do we need to?
Yeah, well, you have a sponsor in a second. So
We don't have a second yet.
Oh, you don't have a sponsor?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
that
if you
the
want to
only-
sponsor it with that language in there and then get your second on it, you won't have to do an amendment.
Okay. Need a second, Larry? Wishes of the committee? Move it. Next resolution, resolution reappointing public defender. Supervisor Thayer is sponsored. I'll second. Discussion? Wishes of the committee? Move it. Next resolution, resolution authorizing chairman to sign New York State Indigent Legal Services Grant and amend the 2012 operating budget. Public defender, I sponsor. Need a second. Greg, discussion? Wishes of the committee? Move it. Next resolution. Resolution appointing members Montgomery County EMS Advisory Board Emergency Management. I sponsor. Need a second. Greg, discussion? Wishes of the committee? And the last resolution, resolution appointing members Montgomery County Fire Advisory Board, Emergency Management. I sponsor. In a second. Purdy? Discussion? Wishes of the committee? Move it. The last thing under other, we got Adam?
Oh, I'm sorry, next committee.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Health and Human Services has to.
Under other, I'd like to speak just a little bit about the safety program that we've got 2 or 3 resolutions throughout the years. Actually, they're all from 2008. Want to go ahead? Trust the committee.
I have the 3 resolutions there.
Billis.
Yeah. The first resolution is Resolution 180. It was done in May 27, 2008. It was a resolution adopting a revised risk management plan. This is still in effect as far as I know. We don't have a risk manager, I believe. And it also has in there the safety officer, which we have no longer a safety officer. I don't know what your wishes are, but to me, I think the resolution is kind of not really, it's meaninglessly. Resolution 181 is creating the Montgomery County Safety and Security Committee.
And also
Also,
2008.
Yes.
Yeah, 2008. Also has in there a committee setting up, it also has the safety officer in there, which you don't have anymore. Same thing with resolution 183. It says it's authorizing safety officer to implement policies countywide to remain in compliance with the federal, state, and local laws. I think some of the information in there is probably good, but I think if we, your choice, Chairman, is if we can get rid of these resolutions and just come up with one resolution to put it all in there.
Incorporate.
Incorporate that. What I'd like to see done, and I met before, and I think I talked to this committee, what we want to do is have a safety committee, which is in one of the resolutions. I'd like to meet on a monthly basis. At first, bring everybody in, let everybody, one person in each department do their own safety inspection. Makes it a lot easier. And you can look for problems that we have. I think it'll work out a lot better than what we used to do. We don't get a lot of things accomplished. And I think we can do it through the work order system and get a lot of these things done. I know we had some issues with the air filters, we had some issues with the panic buttons that were just those. I don't know what your feelings are. I think, like I said, the first two resolutions are really ineffective, and I think if we just take the safety officer over there, and also like to see that the union is involved in this, specified in there. But I've been doing it for the last 6 or 8 years. So, I don't know, you want to work with me on that, or if I can help you work on
What are
it?
the wishes of the committee? Any ideas? Do you want to have them draft a resolution, or do you feel there needs to be a policy in place, Tom?
I'm not on the committee, but I'm aware of the resolutions. The risk manager and the safety officer were created back when they were created as part of a strategy to lower our insurance premiums.
Right.
While I agree that they're not being utilized like they should be, maybe we should be looking at utilizing them. And I almost think Hayes and Warmouth, when they gave us their presentation, had a risk management program that they were providing for us at our request if we wanted to. And we ought to check with Mr. Mancini about that. It may not even be available anymore, but rather than to do away with them, we may want to activate it so that we could, or at least check with the insurance carrier as part of your process here to see whether or not it will affect us, even if we don't have it by name or.
Okay. Anyone else?
We can't just handle that with a policy and just adopt the policy.
Probably can, but someone needs to draft the policy, and who's going to implement the policy? And do we have a risk manager now? Who's that?
We have the risk management program that I think Hayes and Warmouth either initiated, or maybe it was Nymer prior to them.
I think it was Nymer. That's the.
But we're not taking advantage of it. And you know what? Maybe it doesn't matter anymore, but I know that there was a reduction in premium for us. A savings for us, or a rebate back to us for. At least check with Mr. Mancini to find out if there's anything there for us.
Yeah, I mean, it says there's a risk management committee, but it doesn't list who's on the risk management.
Established.
It was established at one point. I think there was a resolution there someplace that says who's on that.
I couldn't find it. I thought there was a committee too.
Kind of think it should be.
Well, what I'm looking for is where you want to go. whether you want to do a policy or you want to do a resolution, we just need to get this going. We need to get our committee started, and I think it'll work out
I
very
think
well.
there should be a policy in place of some sort of what you're going to do.
These are obsolete, at least partially so, clearly, because if there's nothing else, the position of the safety officer no longer exists. And it's not a bad idea to tie it up with a policy.
Well, if I get you some information, I'll draft something up and give it to you, then you can tweak it.
Sure.
Tweak your committee what you want to do, and just so we got an idea and tying in the risk management maybe, and we can get a discount on insurance, it'd be great.
Yeah, give me whatever policy or resolution you want, I can distribute it out to the committee, and then we can go from there.
All right, thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Anything else under other? Motion to adjourn? Greg? Jeff? All in favor?
Yes.
All set. Okay, I'd like to call the Health and Human Services Committee to order, please. First item is discussion part. Any discussion items from the members? Hearing none, we'll go to the first resolution. Resolution authorizing chairman to sign renewal agreement transportation of Fulton County Veterans, Youth, ATI, and Veteran Services. I'll sponsor that. Do we have a second? Barb? Discussion?
Move it.
Move it. Next resolution authorizing chairman to sign agreements, community services, mental health department. I'll sponsor that. Do we have a second? Bill, Trudy? Discussion?
Move
Move it. Under other, there is another add-on resolution. You should have that in your packet. Resolution amending 2013 and tentative budget, Office for the Aging. Chairman Chair sponsored it, and Chairman Demezza is seconding it. Any discussion?
I haven't decided yet whether or not I'll support it, but I think we should at least move it for the full board to vote on. So I would just move it without it.
Okay.
I would say move it.
Is there anyone else? Move it?
Move it.
Nothing else on our other,
Nope.
motion to adjourn? Bill? Mark, second.
See you later.
Go. Hurry up now.
Everybody give them a whole list now. When we get 10, 15,000. We're only gonna vote yes on these things, all of a sudden the whole book opens up.
I call the General Service Committee to order. Is there any members want to say anything about anything before the committee?
No.
I have resolution authorizing chairman to sign corrective action response New York State Department of Transportation Federal Program Remote System Review and Economic Development and Planning.
Second.
Jeff Stark? Any questions?
Move it.
Move it. Anything on your other? Brian made the motion to adjourn. Greg?
We're out.
Herb, congratulations, the most efficient meeting of the night. Once again, proving you are a true leader.